Hello and welcome to a beautiful Wednesday on Crypto. Oh my God, Bitcoin's back above 112K. Gold is going nuts. Maybe Bitcoin catches up because the news is a mess out there and there's a lot of volatility in the space. Now, today I'm continuing on Stablecoin Week and we are going to be discussing Origin Protocol. Let's get right into it. Now, yesterday I covered USDAI, which is a protocol that utilizes the lending and borrowing mechanics of GPU scaling. People looking to borrow against their GPUs to scale their business, to increase the size of their warehouse. That is how the yield was provided in USDAI. Now, Origin is something that is trying to take this stablecoin play and earn yield from the native DeFi ecosystem that sits inside crypto. What we get with this is, as they say, better yield everywhere. And the whole concept is to stay liquid and compound returns with our groundbreaking multi-chain yield ecosystem. Something that sounds like, all right, sure, what does this mean? But what's going on here is that they're taking your stable dollars, these USDCs, these USDTs, and they're leveraging it across the DeFi ecosystem, whether that be through lending, borrowing platforms like Aave, AMM pools in the DEX ecosystem, and other things like stablecoin AMMs like Curve and Compound that actually pay out rewards, selling those rewards back into this ecosystem. Now we can see they've got a pretty good TVL going on here, 339 million with an annual protocol revenue of $33 million. So this is something that's very cool to see from a highly automated platform. What we're looking at is the future of banking, right? Smart contracts, automated programs that can take in your capital and manage it automatically through other smart contracts and automated programs. Now, the Origin suite is pretty large. It has a governance token, which is not what I want to cover. It has liquid staked Ether, which is a way to expose yourself to different Ethereum staking opportunities. But what I want to talk about is the Origin dollar, because we are on stablecoin week. So this is OUSD, and it compounds USD returns seamlessly. Current APY at 3.1, so not the craziest thing in the world, and with a light TVL of $6 million. But what I like about Origin is that it does a great job at exemplifying how we are going to move from the current banking infrastructure to the digital first financial system that is coming up. In a nutshell, you can see that there is no staking, and it's up only, no lockups, auto compounding, tight USD's peg. And what they're doing is they are taking your tokens on Ethereum primarily, and the strategies go into lendings, savings, and AMMs, as previously talked about. Now, when we do look at this over a 1-year period, we've seen some pretty insane APY spikes going up to 21% in January of 2024. It has since dropped to 3.6, but this does show the dynamic spread of what automation can achieve. And this is something that I think is pretty interesting. Now, another fun element to all of this is that we have full transparency. This is on blockchain. You can see where your money is going. So the current yield sources and allocations are in Morpho, where they're earning about 54% in yield on $3 million. So that's pretty juicy. Now, Morpho, like Aave, is lending and borrowing. So the capital here is being rehypothecated. This is very similar to what a bank does, except that you're giving permission. You're not simply storing your dollar. You're actually engaging and clicking and seeking this. Curve is an AMM, or a decentralized exchange, that actually trades between stable coins itself. So one of the innovations of Curve is its bribing platform, where protocols are able to put up some of their inflationary rewards in order to incentivize people to provide liquidity to their protocol. And this is something that also pays rewards. So by placing these stablecoins, this 1.9, into Curve, not only are they earning some fees on stablecoin trades between pools, but they're even earning the CRV token Curve as a reward. That is sort of where the bribes come into play, and they sell this Curve back into stables to provide yield to the Origin token. Sky is what used to be called Maker, and you can think of this as a large asset manager, a bank of sorts. Its inception was to create a decentralized stablecoin. It is now largely asset-backed. It holds a lot of USDC. It holds real estate. It holds a very robust basket of assets that it uses to supply stability to the Sky token. So all of these things are generating yields. And at the end of the day, these automated processes return that yield capture to the Origin token. If you want to see how yield is generated, they have it pretty well thought out here. The exit fees are returned to the pool. So this means anyone looking to exit their position does have to pay a fee upon exiting. That fee goes to everyone else who stays in the pool. This incentivizes longer term holders. The pricing oracles are are automated to, again, make longer term bets rather than short term gains. Yields do tend to compress as more funds are deployed. We often see this with early incentives being very high yielding. As more people enter, that yield is dispersed, it's stretched out, and you get less yield. Obviously, inflationary rewards, they are better upfront. They're a short-term boost. So by automating it, we can have the protocol move from pool to pool, trying to capture the highest possible yields. And of course, the gas costs of harvesting yield are amortized across the entire pool. This means that since you're moving this money en masse and collectively in sort of an omnibus style, you can lessen the amount of transactions required, thus lowering the gas prices. So there's a lot of benefits there. Now, it comes from lending, that rehypothecation that I talked about. It comes from market making in the decentralized exchanges, providing liquidity to pools. And it comes from rewards like Convex, Curve, Aave, Compound, all of which have their own governance token that they can use as rewards to liquidity providers. So in this way, Origin gives us a very clear glimpse as to what autonomous money management looks like, what this reality of our stablecoin future is. What used to require a bank full of employees, that required salaries, that required niche licensing, that all of these risk mitigators are now being supplanted by operators in code. Just as the blockchain saying goes, don't trust, verify. We are seeing the foundations of an entire new world order built on these digital rails, where money moves just like information. This is the simplest format of cryptocurrency, and it's wonderful to see it continue to happen. Remember, while the stablecoin issuers cannot share yield, the protocols can, and that is exactly what's happening. And the more growth we see in the stablecoin sector, the more these yield-bearing opportunities will become irresistible to capital deployers. Right now, we are going through a shift, which is actually understanding and grokking the risks that are implied. With things like Genius, with more regulations from the CFTCs, from the SEC, we will gain more trust in the reality that these systems are indeed anti-fragile and that the risk is minimal. As that happens, the pools of capital that want to flow in will only increase. Fees, access, everything is cheaper, more on. This is a 24/7, 365 market, and that is something exciting. Now, in the conversation about regulation and trust, we actually have an announcement from the Federal Reserve, the Fed, that they're going to host a payments innovation conference on stablecoins. And that's because we are in this adoption curve. The floodgates are open and the genie is out of the bottle. Stablecoins are a superior mechanism versus our shitty and just continually degrading experience inside the banks. So this is extremely exciting to see as the government starts to lean in. And of course, coming from the SEC, we have this SEC CFTC joint staff statement, Project Crypto Sprint. And what they're saying out loud now is that the previous admin under Biden, under Gensler, was an attempt to kill the industry. They simply were not looking for any progress, period. With that veil being removed, with that weight being lifted, the two agencies are now working hand in hand to find solutions to move this industry forward. It's not only that it's clear as day that it's the future, it's not only clear as day that it is a massive boon for the USD and dollar hegemony across the world, but that these businesses blended with AI, like I keep saying, we only need an 18-person business to create billions of dollars worth of revenue, and that will only shrink as the AIs get better and more trusted as well. So we are not only seeing the Federal Reserve embrace this and lean in, we're not only seeing the financial regulators embrace this and lean in, but they're teaming up, they're calling it Project Crypto, and they're looking to get things done in this industry. It is becoming blatantly obvious that the future of finance is on chain. So all of this is very exciting. Tomorrow I'll be covering another stablecoin project just to help everybody learn how exactly this future will unfold and the sheer power of disruption and wealth creation that is involved in the stablecoin space. With that being said, don't lever up. The markets are always wild. Stay safe, and I will see you tomorrow.